Dave from Nick Stacks, and I've got what I think might be the rarest CGC X-Men unboxing ever. I finally got my books back from CGC. I got many, 8 Top Pop books back, and I have discovered I'm like 5 books away from finally completing this almost 3-year-long project, so I hope you enjoy this. UK price variants. Here I go, pounding that drum again. I really think you guys are missing out. There's a lot of stuff here, especially this classic run from Byrne and Claremont, along with Cockrum and a fill-in or 2 from George Perez. But this is just one of those iconic runs, and it's been so fun putting it together. I can't wait until it's done, but at the same time, I'm always looking for a deal. UK price variants, they're not, there's a few gaps in this run in particular. I've got the numbers listed up there. I've got an asterisk by 101. I am only collecting from X-Men 100, 101, the Phoenix, and then 105, she defends the house against Firelord, and then the whole Byrne Claremont run, 108 through 143. There's a gap there at 120, 121, and 122. First full appearance of Alpha Flight, so that's a big odds to get. 122, surprisingly, took a long time to get in high grade. And 137 has no variants other than the direct and the newsstand. I guess I'm going with newsstand. Although a few years later they did release Phoenix, the Untold Saga, that reproduced the pages that they had originally made for 137 where Phoenix lived, that I'm pretty sure Jim Shooter shot down, which is kind of funny, and end up with Byrne leaving that group because of that decision. The issues that are missed are available in Mark Jeweller's variants. So like the X-Men 105 that I have is a Mark Jeweller's variant. 121, 122, 142, and 143 are also available in Mark Jeweller's variants. So I don't want to say done with the Mark Jeweller's because I do want to upgrade my 121. I have it in a 7.0. I'd like to get a 9.0 or better, which is going to be tough. There's one on eBay that's been there for about 2 years. That is, it's right around 2,000. I think he's had it as low as 1995 or 1999. And it's like 22.95 right now, which is like 3.5 times the price of a 9.8, which I think is a little much. It is rare. It's probably the highest copy of that book that there ever will be. I understand the premium, but I still think it's a little high. I'm thinking more like 2.5 times maybe the 9.8, so that would put it about $1,600. But anytime I try to type an offer in, it's immediately denied, so I think he's looking for around $2,000. Anyways, rambling on. It took me a while to decide to slab them or not. At one point I decided to put them all in Mylars, and then I shifted gears, and I'm still in the process of putting all my Daredevils in those Mylars. But I decided it'd be easier on my family after I pass that they have them all slabbed, and they'll be able to not have to deal with price or whatever. You know, they should be able to just put them up if they decide to sell them. It's one of my favorite runs, so maybe they'll keep them, I don't know. But if they decide to sell them, that's okay with me. So I put a bunch of issues together, mostly eBay.uk, although I did find a couple of dealers over in the UK that ship, most notably Silver Acre Comics early on, before they caught on and started raising their prices. I figured I had most of them at least 9.0 or better. At 1.0, shooting for 9.4s or better, but that was getting kind of, I didn't think I'd ever reach that, and I may never. I'll always look to upgrade these, but, you know, it's just going to be tough. So I think Very Fine Near Mint is a good place for these books because they are so rare. So I put these in for an 8.5 free screen. These things, I see more and more videos talking about this, so I hope you guys are getting the message from us. But think of them as 1 in 25 variants of classic comics, classic runs, classic keys, and I really think you guys are missing out. I really am just looking at this, so I'm not trying to peddle you anything. You know, there are keys out there like First Taskmaster, First Moon Knight, First Mobius, sadly no First Punisher, First Bullseye, First Elektra, God, First Spider-Man, Amazing Fantasy 15 is available in the UK price variant, and they're all super rare because the UK is a tiny little island compared to America. All of these books that look almost identical to their US counterparts were printed at the same time on the same press. A lot of people, including myself, based on circumstantial evidence, think that they were probably printed first to work the bugs out of the press. Two reasons I hold it. The color strikes are really rich, really deep, really sharp, and the cuts are not great. So they're off center. The wraps are off. I think they were run through first to work the kinks out of the press before the US versions were put out. So that would make the US versions reprint. So it's estimated somewhere between 1 to 5% of the print run UK price variance. And I think if you look at the keys on the CGC census, it reflects that. You're not going to get the same information from non-keys. But somebody who has an X-Men 101 over there is almost as likely to grade it as someone over here. The only sticking point is going to be shipping to and from CGC US. And I think they opened a branch office over there now, so that should go away. But as of right now, X-Men 101 UK has 3% of the copies graded that X-Men 101 US does. The most important part to me is, you know, I'm in my mid-50s, and like when I put my Daredevil run together, I would go to shops and I would have a paper list, and it was like, I'm looking for this book, and for a long time it didn't really matter what condition it is. Now, you know, even my early issues, I think I've got all but a few of them are 5.0 or greater, and most of those present better. But you know, it was a challenge. It was a quest. You would go out and you would look for these books at comic shops wherever you went. You know, if you went to visit your parents or went on a trip, you would look in the yellow pages and look up comic shops, and you would go and check things out, and you would go with your list and you would scratch these things off. And now that we live in the internet age, it's kind of the same thing, but instead of a paper list, you check them off your spreadsheet, and it's still a hunt. Even eBay, I mean, if I wanted to get this run in US variants, it would take me one night. I could sit down while I'm watching TV, get on eBay, maybe have to get on a couple of other sites, probably not, and have them in my hands the next week. This is going on 3 years, guys. With that 122, I didn't have a copy. I didn't have a copy of 122 until 2 months ago, when I just happened to Google search it and vendor here in the US that had the Mark Jewelers variant of it, high enough grade. So it's been a challenge. I'm not even done yet. I'm recording this after I did the unboxing, so I know, and you're gonna know, that I still need 5 books. So it's been really fun. I think they're underrated, and I think you're missing out. So without further ado,